प्रिय विद्यार्थियों, एक बार फिर से आपका स्वागत इंग्लिश लिटरेचर की क्लास में आफ्टर दीपावली वेकेशंस. Hope you enjoyed your Deepavali and now be serious towards your study and be and also be serious of corona disease. Stay home, stay safe. Today, students, we will talk about the sonnet on his blindness. It is written by John Milton. Before starting the sonnet, first we will talk about the author, about the poet. John Milton, he was born to John and Sarah Milton in London, was educated at Christ College, Cambridge. He was a Puritan and a firm supporter of the state of democracy. He was an English poet and intellectual who served as a civil servant for the Commonwealth of England and under its Council of State and later under Oliver Cromwell. He wrote at the time of religious flux and political upheaval and is best known for his epic poem Paradise Lost. That was written in blank verse and widely considered to be one of the greatest works of literature ever written. So, he was born on 9th September 1608, died 8th September 1674. His main works are Paradise Lost, When I Consider How My Light is Spent, Lycidas, Paradise Regained, Allegro, and etc. Writing in English, Latin, Greek, and Italian, he achieved international renown with its lifetime. His celebrated Achronictica, written in condemnation of pre-publication. William Haley's biography called him the greatest English author, and he remains generally regarded as one of the preeminent writers in English language. Though critical reception has oscillated in the centuries, he is also credited with reviving the Petrarchan form of sonnet. His sonnets are mostly autobiographical. The most remarkable quality of his poetry is his sublimity, both in thought and in style. Matthew Arnold calls his style the grand style. His famous works, La Allegro, written in 1631, Paradise Lost, first edition in 1667. So many epics, poems are written by John Milton. Before starting the poem, the sonnet on his blindness, we will talk about what is Petrarchan type of sonnet. There are two types of sonnets in English literature. First, that is Shakespearean sonnet, and second one is that is of Petrarchan sonnet. Both sonnets are of 14 lines. Shakespearean sonnets have one idea, that it is divided into three quatrains of 4 lines each and one couplet. And Petrarchan sonnet is divided into two parts. First part is called octave and the last part is called sestet. Before starting the sonnet on his blindness, first we will talk about the summary of on his blindness. On his blindness, written in 1655 and published in 1673, is a Petrarchan sonnet. It was earlier entitled as When I Consider How My Light is Spent. But 100 years later, Bishop Newton gave it the title On His Blindness. Milton lost his eyesight in 1652 at the age of 44. His sonnets expresses Milton's profound faith in God. It captures the spirit of Puritanism at its best. When Milton lost his eyesight at the prime of his life, he initially felt utterly disappointed and hopeless. He feared that the poetic talent bestowed on him by God would now be useless. In a state of despair and anguish, momentarily he even doubted God's justice. He thought it unfair on the part of God to expect hard work from a blind man. His mental turbulence soon subsided with a realization that the best service to God is to have faith in Him and to submit to His will. God showers love, passion, mercy, sympathy on His devotees. Those who trust God's ways can soon overcome all the hurdles, obstacles, and adversities of life. The sonnet has a universal appeal. Milton's philosophy of faith in God's will is a moral booster for depressed minds. The theme of the sonnet is dignified. This sonnet is written in iambic pentameter lines. It has the rhyme scheme A B B A, A B B A, that is of octave part, and C D E, C D E, that is of sestet part. Means to say that this sonnet was divided into two parts. First 8 lines are called octave, and the rhyme scheme of the of these 8 lines is AB, BA, AB, BA, and the last 6 lines are called sestet, and the rhyme scheme of these lines are CDE, CDE. So this was the Petrarchan style of sonnets. It means to say that this sonnet was divided into this sonnet is of 14 lines sonnet. It has a single theme. The theme is of Milton's faith in God. It has 2 parts. First 8 lines are octave and the last 6 lines are sestet. So this is the Petrarchan style of sonnet. So the sonnet on his blindness is one of the finest sonnets written by John Milton. It is a biographical in character because Milton talks about his blindness in this sonnet. So this has a autobiographical character and it presents to be as the pathetic condition of the poet. Poet is very sad because he lost his eyes. So this sonnet presents the pathetic condition of the poet. This sonnet is sublime in tone and expresses the poet's strong faith in the mercy of God. The poet believes that those persons who merely stand and wait and pray to God in silence are as God's good volunteer of God. And these angels who pass over land and sea in carrying out the orders of the Almighty God. In this sonnet, Milton asks a foolish question. God does not expect his gifts back from us. He doesn't want to do something for him. He had thousands of angels who serve him day and night. So this sonnet on his blindness presents the poet's great belief in God. In the next video, we will talk about line to line explanation of the sonnet on his blindness. This was the intro part of the sonnet and introduction of John Milton, because so many questions come from the intro and summary of the poem.